Hello and hello. Thank you so much for joining me today. How you doing? The Tuve, guys. The legendary Tuve. Your guys' car inspections are way more strict than here in America. In fact, for the most part, like, it depends on what state you live in, but for instance, in Indiana, where I live, you don't get any car inspection. That's not to say that there aren't, certain things about your car that are required. Like, you do need turn signals and brake lights. That's about it. But it's not even inspected. It's just, if a cop sees you driving around without brake lights, then they can pull you over. It's not even inspected at any given point. But yeah, other than that, and of course a few other things. But like the tire tread's not inspected, and yeah. Well, I guess I should also say the tint on the windows can't be darker than a certain amount. But once again, that's not inspected. It's just, if a cop sees you driving around and he thinks your tint is too dark, you could get pulled over. Although usually that's just a pretext for getting pulled over for something else. Anyway, let's see. This is a short video. PCS to Germany. 10 ways to pass the German TÜV. Okay. On your United States spec car. That's what's interesting to me about it. All right, let's see.
Here's 10 ways to make sure that your US spec vehicle passes the required German TÜV inspection. I know it does look good, but you can't have tint on your front driver's windshield or the front windshield or the driver's or passenger front.
I actually am not sure if you could have tint on the windshield here in America either. Can you tint? I'm asking the AI guys that your windshield in USA. I guess legally. Yeah. You can do anything you want. This might be illegal. Yes, but only very lightly, and the exact depends on the state. Okay, I didn't know that. So you can tint it to some extent. Let's see. The light transmission has to be 70% or higher, typically. Okay. But, okay, so that is a difference already. And she said even the driver's side window and the passenger window can't be tinted. Those can be tinted here in America. There's a standard for how much, but it's pretty high. You can have them tinted dark enough that you can't even see the driver.
The driver's or passenger front windows. Double check there's no chips or cracks in the front windshield, especially on the driver's eye line. That will actually fail the inspection.
Just a chip in the windshield. Oh my gosh. Wow, it's so much stricter than here in America. It's not even like a thought here in America. Having a chip in your windshield. I mean, of course you prefer your car doesn't have a chip in the windshield, but it's not like, oh, is this okay to drive? I've seen cracks across the whole windshield,
You might be okay if there's a slight...
And I mean, that's kind of scary because, of course, it impedes their sight to a degree, which is dangerous for other people on the road, not just them.
Chip on the passenger side, but definitely not on the driver's I-frame. Double check you have at least 1.6 millimeters of tread, and especially if you have a lower mileage car, you don't drive the vehicle very much. Double check there's no cracking on the rims of the tire, because that will actually fail an inspection.
Wow, okay. So the tire stuff is way more strict as well. In fact, here in Indiana, as far as I know, there are no laws about the tires. You don't even need tires. You could just drive on your rims. Not recommended, but yeah. In fact, when I was, when I had no money, I would just drive for years and years. I would just drive and only replace a tire when it popped. I'd be driving, tire goes flat. Damn, time to replace it. Damn, that one. I had that one for 7 years. And it just popped. Damn, completely bald. Now, there are some states actually here in America where you do have to get a routine inspection, and I think like the main part of it is the tires, and they will check the tread on your tires. Not a lot of states, but some.
Make sure that all your bulbs are functioning throughout the vehicle because a simple bulb out will fail the inspection.
That makes sense. Like, you can't be having your headlights out or your tail lights out or your brake lights out here in America either. You're probably not going to get pulled over for just like one brake light being out. But for a headlight out, you certainly could. I have.
Make sure that a line
But once again, it's not something you get inspected.
of the tires are actually in the vehicle, because if you have a sports car, especially the Wranglers, and you have your tires sticking out, that will fail the inspection.
Oh, okay. Random. I wonder what the rationale is for that. I'm curious about that. I'm asking, once again, the all-powerful AI guys. I said, why in Germany is it against regulation for the wheels to stick out beyond the frame of the car? Because Germany treats wheel poke as a safety hazard and public infrastructure issue. If a tire sticks out, it throws stones and gravel outward. Oh, because it doesn't get hit by those. It's going out past those flaps in the wheel well. Oh, wow, I hadn't thought of that. And of course, that can hit pedestrians, cyclists, which is a big deal, a bigger deal in Germany and stuff. You know, and there's just not very many of those here in America, or other cars. Ah, water spray, especially at Autobahn speeds, which I know the Autobahn is made out of like porous concrete, so that it's, you know, it's already mitigating that. But yeah, you don't want to be spraying water. Awesome. Okay, now I understand. To be honest, when she said that, I'm just like, well, why? Who cares? But now I understand. There's always a rationale. You know, there's always a rationale.
Inspection. Make sure that there's no cracks if you've reversed into something and have damaged the lighting, because a cracked housing will actually fail the inspection.
Whoa, that'll fail? You have people here in America all the time with duct tape. What they'll do is, like, if their light gets cracked or smashed even, they'll just have like red duct tape as a temporary thing, or like red saran wrap, like taped. And for a lot of people, it's not a temporary thing either. It's like a permanent thing. It's like, you know, I mean, you know, times can be tough for people, and they're just like, yeah, that's just what we got. You can, I mean, you see people here in America driving around with cars that have been in a wreck and they're smashed up. Like, you'll be like, oh my God, what happened to them? Their whole back end is like smashed. It could even be falling apart and like leaving debris on the road. Like, that's possible. It's probably illegal, but it's possible. But definitely smashed up. You see a car, it's like, whoa, their whole front end, they're missing the hood. There's no, the front end's been like smashed. It's like, oh shit, I hope they're not leaking, you know, oil. But you see that.
The vehicle will go through a very thorough braking test. So if you haven't
And they're allowed to drive around.
changed your brakes since you've owned your vehicle or for a very long time, it's recommended to change them, especially if you can feel any vibrating when you're braking, because it's probably a sign they're ready to be changed.
I'm just thinking about my old car, the one I was talking about where the tires were all bald. Oh my God. It would just be laughed at the tube. It would be the fastest fail of all time. I'd definitely break a record. The exhaust was like falling down. The pipe was like hanging down underneath, you know, the exhaust pipe. Like, the tires were completely bald. Like, the door handles were ripped off. There's like a crack in the windshield. Oh my God. And what did she just say?
You can feel any vibration.
Oh, the brakes. Yeah. You could hear me coming a mile away, the squealing on my brakes.
When you're braking, because it's probably a
Oof.
sign they're ready to be changed. If you've scraped the side of your vehicle, double check in case there's any rust, because any rust with any holes in it will actually fail the inspection.
What?
inspection. They will also put the vehicle on a ramp so they can check there's no play in any of the link arms, any
rust. Oh my God. Whoa. Wow. You see absolute rust buckets driving around here in America.
ball joints, any rust, and of course, any major oil leaks. So if you found that useful,
Well, the oil leaks, yeah, I mean, yeah, you shouldn't be driving that.
don't forget to give it a quick like and follow us if you are on your PCS.
How did I manage to react to this? I just watched this minute and 51 seconds of this video, and I reacted for 10 minutes. That's some kind of skill, right? I don't know. Anyway, if anyone watched, thank you. I thought that was very entertaining. God damn. That's crazy. That's crazy. I wonder if either one of my current cars would pass the TÜV. I guess my Corolla would. There's nothing wrong with it. Just brought it through the car wash yesterday, in fact. Well, I'd have to check the tires. I should check the tires on that. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.